This morning, I'm in studio with Dr. Palgrave Boakye Dankwa. He's a member of the New Patriotic Party. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anna.
Good to have you. And Wanda Madilo is a member of the National Democratic Congress, NDC's communications team.
Yes.
Wanda, good morning.
Very good morning to your
Good to see you.
lovely viewers, and to my brother.
Right. This morning, we have a number of issues to look at, but we start from the courts, the issue of arrest and detention and remand. This time round, it is that of Abronya DC, the NPP's Bruno Regional Chairman, Kwame Bafo, also known as Abronya DC. We know he's been remanded by the courts over offensive conduct. We also know and have heard that the Attorney General will be moving to secure bail for him, hopefully today. So let's get straight into the conversation. Doc, from where you sit, your party thinks that if like state machinery is being weaponized against some of your members. We've heard threats of a planned demonstration, September 23rd, I think. Your national youth organizer is the one championing this. If a person falls foul of the law, should he not be dealt with? Is this not the law at work? Why the hue and cry if a person is found having engaged in misconduct and has been picked up?
And a very good morning to you and a very good morning to your viewing public. And let me this morning send my condolences to the bereaved family of the Christo Asafo family.
Yeah.
They lost their founder and he was a very generous man, very philanthropic. The daughter is a member of the New Patriotic Party. Our deepest condolences to him. He was such a very good man. And,
Right.
we pray that the good Lord would find a resting place for him. Now, I am indeed getting very troubled. And I would take it in a number of value chains.
Okay.
I believe that we should live in a country of values and ethics, where when people use certain words and people speak, there must be institutions that must call them to order. We have seen that it's been going on all across board. In the generation when I was born, and the generation that brought me up, we were taught that a value system is what orients a society and a community. And we were taught that it takes not just an individual to raise a human being, but it takes an entire community.
Yeah.
Before I come to the conduct of the Ghana Police Service and the abuse of power and what is going on in the country, let me first address the fact that the Bono chairman for the New Patriotic Party has been on digital media. He has used all kinds of words. I would have wished that we always say that, godliness begins at home.
True.
I would have wished that my political party should have drawn him to order. If my political party had cracked the whip very early, I'm not sure would have gotten to this state. And so whilst I cracked the whip of my political party's indifference of calling the chairman out, I deal with that, then I can now come and deal with the issues that are happening in the country. So my party failed in calling him out because the New Patriotic Party is a party of dignity, a party of values, a party of respect, a party of intellectuals, a party of grassroots, a party of well-brought-up, well people. So if you have a regional chairman who is going off board some of the ethos of the New Patriotic Party's value system, should have been called out. Now, he went ahead because he has not been disciplined by the party. He went ahead and now his impact has affected the country, where he made certain statements against the sitting president and made certain statements against the IGP, which is why we are where we are.
True.
Now, I am getting increasingly troubled with the level at which the government and the security handles some of these issues. You can clearly see that the verdicts that came from the judge has not gone down well with all the political parties. My political party has not been glad at all with the fact that we are almost living in an animal kingdom where some people are more valuable than other people. But for me, it calls for a rethink of a Ghana value system. I can never on any day sit on national TV, be in my private conversations and insult elderly people, not even my colleagues. But it has become almost a pathway to an accomplishment in political career if you are able to insult. That means you are bold. That means you are assertive. But that means you are not brought up well. And so the Ghana police handled the issue, Black Maria, for an issue like that, telling you the gravity of it. I mean, I don't think that this is a war situation. I don't think that such an individual has killed 1,000 people, that he's so much of a threat that he's placed and put in such manner. But the Attorney General says he's coming to his verdict. They gave him a 7-day custody. We really, really need to look at this country very well. But whilst we are at it, you see, Nana, there are a lot of insecurity issues that have happened over the past months, and I've detailed that. And I think that the Ghana Police Service and the President of Ghana, Dramani Mahama, should pay particular attention to it. Nana, almost immediately, I don't know why the President has not selected a new Minister for Defense. I don't know why. This weekend there were issues in Hamele, a very peaceful community, peaceful border town. People are burning vehicles, burning offices. Ghana Immigration Services are shooting people, and I mean, we've not even had a statement from the Ghana Immigration Service. We've not had a statement from it.
But what we know is that they are going into some meetings, emergency meetings today, and then hopefully after that we'll hear an official statement from them.
Nana, we are not safe. From the 15th of January, in Kwanta South, which is in Oti region, there was a chieftaincy dispute, a gunfire, and arson. 3 people died. 3 people died. Severe people had injuries and houses were burnt. On the 28th of February, Northeast, Nanik, chieftaincy and communal attack. Victims were burnt. 3 people died. A teacher among them also died. On the 9th of April, Upper East, Boku, there was a market dispute and police barracks attacks. 1 person died. 22nd of April, Domiabra, there was a boundary demarcation land issues. Also, a lot of people got injured. 6+ people got injured. On the 25th to the 28th of June, in Kwanta South, Oti region, renewed clashes, schools closed, less than 3 people died, and even more. On the 24th of August, you know these issues that are happening in Bendiri, the Savannah issues. I don't know. Can there be a fight without one party not having arms? I don't know. Maybe some people can tell me. On the 26th of August, this Homowo land dispute, you remember, the spring, 2 people died. 30th of August, Soutum, just around the corner. Okay, 3 people died as well. Rival chieftaincy groups, 4 injured, gunfire, all in Accra. I mean, these things are not safe. Sampa, just in Bono, when we were going on this campaign tour with our candidate Japan, there were chieftaincy disputes, gazetting issues. So if you look at all of these civil unrest, the police should be busy.
You don't think they are?
I don't think so.
In most of these cases, some arrests have been made.
I don't think so. There were arrests that were made. I recall, and I stated it on air, on the 27th of August. These arrests were made at Daboya police station. The arms were seized, and the people were released back. The people were released back. I don't think the police is busy. But I think that you recall when the government changed powers, the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, John Dramani Mahama, changed all the security corps, including the battalions. All the battalions, from Northern Command to Southern Command to Central Command, changed a majority of them. So do you see the challenges that we are having? Someone is not advising the president well. someone is sleeping on the job. Someone is not making the tough decisions.
Very well.
And I'm scared. I'm
Doc,
troubled.
thank you. Doc, thank you. Let me say good morning to Elvis. Elvis Dako is the editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com. Elvis, thank you for joining us. Good to have you. Wanda, let me come to you on this issue of Abronye's arrest and his remand, and what now has, if like, taken over even the action of the police. I'm making reference to the pronouncements by the judge in issuing the remand.
Yeah. So Abronye's case is, I take it with a lot of mixed reactions.
Okay.
We in government, or the NDC government, is not excited about the developments around the judge's ruling and all the matters, arising. And in all humility, we are quick to admit that the judge erred in his approach or his ruling. Indeed, we have to be minded about the history of this judge. Many people are quick to say, oh, the NDC is not the NDC and would never be the NDC and can never be the NDC.
Why?
We can't be responsible for the actions of a judge who was hitherto celebrated by a former government, who was hitherto empowered to do what he's doing. And we are beginning to deal with the reset of some of these institutions, especially in their conduct. In 2023, this same judge, in fact, if you read the ruling, I don't know if you've seen the ruling, if you read the ruling, in the same ruling, he stated that somewhere in 2023, he remanded an NDC activist for insulting President Nana Akufo-Addo. At the time, it was celebrated, widely celebrated. It is the same judge who remanded Wuntumi's presenter, same judge. Then, because he's empowered to do some of those things and feels that by doing some of those things, then he is seen as a good judge or a powerful judge or a strong judge, now he's gone overboard. And this is one of the reasons why President John Dramani Mahama is very minded about what happens, the excesses of some of these institutions. And that's where our judiciary has gotten to, or that's where our country has gotten to in almost every facet of our lives. Almost all institutions of state under the last government were collapsed virtually because they were all running a government agenda. This time around, that won't help. It won't work. The NDC is not interested in any judge trying to help the NDC to rule this country. We are not interested in that. And that is why the Attorney General is taking the bold step himself to go to court and quash the judgment. Why? Don't forget the Attorney General himself should have been the prosecutor in this matter. But now he has to go to court because he holds two offices, the office of the Attorney General and Justice. Today he's going to court to go and work in the name of justice. We are not interested in incarcerating anybody because we are in power. No, that's not our focus. We are very much minded about the peace we enjoy in this country. We are also minded about law and order at the same time. And so when the judge errs, one good thing an Attorney General would do is what he's doing today, going to court to tell the court that, listen, you erred in that ruling and we don't take it in good faith. That has to be thrown out. How many Attorney Generals have you seen since independence that do some of these things? That I'm prosecuting a matter, I'm prosecuting somebody, the judge has taken a comfortable ruling for me, and I go back to court and say, no, even though you have ruled that this person should be punished or should be reminded, I don't agree with the ruling. That's something you should be commending the NDC for. We are not excited about all these frivolities, all these pedestrian talk, all these assumptions of we are powerful and we are in government and everybody has to keep quiet and all that. We don't do that in the NDC. At least we give people voices to speak. We give people credible voices. We allow you to speak your mind. And when you speak your mind, you have to be responsible for the things you say. And in as much as we all disagree with Abronye's approach to insulting everybody, I go to Action Chapel. I have seen him berate Archbishop Duncan Williams just a few days before his trouble started. I have seen him berate John Dramani Mahama, insult him. He's a stupid man, he's a foolish man, he doesn't think, he's Jimmy. He says all kinds of rubbish. In fact, if the president had allowed some of us those times, we would have beat him to pulp. Yes, I'm telling you. But you see, You see, John Mahama is not that kind. He's not that type. He's not the tyrant of a leader we've had in the past who would send even boys after him. We have had journalists in this country killed in cold blood. Ahmed Swale was just minding his business and he died in the line of duty because some individuals, some people who felt that he was a thorn in the flesh of other people went after him and killed him in cold blood. People actually called for him to be killed in this country. And we had the president doing nothing, absolutely nothing about that. On a good day, if you talk about this under President John Dramani Mahama's tenure, he would have even gone to the family to commiserate with them. We didn't see that in the previous government. And so when we hear people make comments as though the NDC is interested and excited about what is happening to Abronya, it's a fallacy. We are not excited about that. We know that the rule of law will take its own course, and at the end of the day, we will get to the bottom of this matter. Abronya is in court facing 2 charges. One is publication of false news, which we all know about, which is a criminal offense. Also offensive conduct conducive to the breach of public peace. Those are the basis for which is in court. We are not going to gag anybody. We allow you to speak your mind. We have had people say all manner of things against
and all these
our
are bailable offenses.
We will never stop. You see, when it comes to the issue of bail, okay, some of them is a discretion of the judge. A lot of them is the discretion of the judge. Yes, the law may say that it's a bailable offense. But if the judge has to look at the circumstances under which I'm going to grant you the bail, if I grant you bail and you jump out, or you are society risk, or you say a murder, somebody has murdered, is gone berserk, shooting everybody, and you bring me to court. And the law
in this
says,
case, Abronya is not a murderer.
I'm coming, no, I'm saying, we're talking about discretion.
Right.
I'm talking about discretion of a judge. It differs from one to the other. And the judge says, oh, leaving this person to go and work in the society is extra harm because you can pick up a gun again. We don't know when you go off again and kill people. Yeah. So I'm keeping you in the cooler until the case is resolved. That entirely is within the bosom of the judge. And we cannot fault the judge for some of those ones. But when you take a ruling and mention Animal Farm and mention all kinds of drama and say all kinds of, excuse me, issues that a judge on a normal day should be conscious of, that I think is reprehensible. And the NDC government wouldn't means worse to go to court and drop that. Abronya himself also has to be advised. You see, the MPP in one breath wants to tell us that, oh, and it is bad, this is the kind of bad governance we have voted for and all that. But you are not willing to tell your man that this is bad. Even in your own party. Is that the kind of conduct the NPP represents when we were born as young people watching the NDC from a distance? Would this have happened under the lives of proper, MPP apparatchiks? Excuse me, people like President Kufuor would have been president of their party or president of Ghana or flag bearer of their party. You have these dissidents, these hoodlums in the party doing this nonsense. At least, who to me is now quiet a little. How about Abronya? Should everybody be disrespected because of this idiot? Excuse me. Should that be the case? Should we get to the point where everybody is just rubbish because of this Abronya who cannot even feed himself? Who cannot even do anything for himself? What has he achieved in life? You call people who are 70 years old, 80 years old, people who have achieved a lot, people who have labored for this country, and you insult them as though they are your junior brothers? Would you even do that to your family or your parents? So please, in one breath, while we condemn the actions of the judge, we also want to call on the MPP to be responsible. You've seen people go to the courts and misbehave at the court over there because of Abronya. Are they telling us that what the conduct of Abronya is good? And that we should commend such irresponsible comments? Should we also conclude that the people who are following him in court and over this
endorse what he's doing?
Should that be the case? And what signal are we sending to the young generation of their own party of this conduct? At what point will the political party be objective now to say that this is wrong and we condemn it? So please, in as much as we agree that the judge erred, one of the things that I want the MPP to also do is to find a way to gag this idiot. Very well,
Wanda, thank you. I've not seen you like this before, but it's fine. I can understand where you're coming from.
When he insults people, he doesn't even hold. You see, there's a way to tell somebody wisdom. If you insult the person, but it makes sense. So for instance, if I look in your face and say, excuse me, I think that next time you should be more responsible. I've insulted you, but I haven't said you are a fool. I haven't said you are an idiot. I haven't said that you are mad. And these are the words this guy uses.
Very well, very well. Let me come to Elvis, and Elvis especially on the judge's ruling. It looks as though it was an application of an Orwellian logic, bringing in the animal farm theory into the court. But I'm asking about what danger it portends in ordinary Ghanaians having their constitutional rights enforced, if courts are now telling us that not all men are equal before the law?
Thank you for the opportunity, Nana. I've done journalism for at least 20 years plus. Those who follow my work know that I don't use my platform to attack, insult people. I'm not somebody who endorses insults. And I'm not somebody who will encourage anybody to go and be insulting anybody. Personally, I don't do that. Professionally, I don't do that. Because I believe that we are in a society where we place premium on certain values. And one of the values is how we have to be decorum to each other and how we should respect people and all that. So for me, anybody involved in insulting people, using abusive words, I believe that is wrong. However, we should not live under any impression that we don't know what is happening around the world. The generation that is coming up are different from those values because society has failed to instill those values in the generation that is coming up. So the generation that is coming up, they do things differently. As a journalist, I've held the view, and I also hold the view, that I don't believe and I don't subscribe to criminalizing speech of any form. If somebody insults you, take a civil suit against the person. If somebody says you are a criminal, take a civil suit against the person. But to arrest anybody for speech, I am 100% against it. I'm 100% against it. No matter how the person insults, disgrace, and alleges about you,
it doesn't warrant an arrest.
It does never, in my opinion, under no circumstances, should anybody be subjected to criminal prosecution because of what the person has said. If the person has taken action to do something, you can deal with the person. But to say words that are proceeded out of somebody's mouth, for that reason you are subjecting the person to criminal prosecution. Me, I am against it, and I'll always be against it.
But the law provides for publication of falsehood.
That is a very bad law. That's a very bad law. That's a very bad law. Slavery was once legal in law, or you didn't know? You didn't know that slavery was legal, and people are allowed to buy people and sell some time ago. So when a law is bad, it's bad. Publishing fake news is a very bad law. Causing fear and panic is a very bad law. Proposal by the president that we should find a law to find ways to deal with people who make comments or say, it's a very bad proposal. Very bad. Look, allow people to say what they want to say. The legal system have two options for you, criminal and civil. I believe that any word that proceeded out of anybody's mouth, no matter how bad it is, it should only be a subject of civil prosecution.
Not
civil
criminal.
litigation, never criminal prosecution. That's it. Because
Even if what is said borders on criminality.
what is criminality about words? What is criminality about words? Did I beat you? If I send an act for, excuse me to say, your face look like a chimpanzee, I don't like you. What is wrong with that? That's my opinion of you.
If you accuse me of, you accuse me wrongly of
If I
engaging
say
in
you are a
something I've not
criminal
done.
and you are not a criminal, take me to civil suit. Why do you arrest me? It's word. It's word I've said. Take me to a civil suit and let the civil suit decide that I defamed you or I libeled you. Why should that be a subject of criminal prosecution? When there's an option of civil liberty, civil suit for you to establish that what I've said against you is not the case. It's not that I don't have an option. You have an option. I'm saying that anything about speech violation, whoever feel slighted by anybody's comment should resort to civil litigation. Under no circumstances should we subject anybody's speech to criminalization. I hold this view and I always step by it because see, what society doesn't know is that the more we allow some of these things and say it's a violation, it will come to a time you can't speak. Everything you want to say, you want to think thrice before you speak. Because you are scared to say, when I say this, somebody may wake up and say, oh, I think what the person said, without any definition, constitutes criminal, go and arrest and prosecute the person. It makes no sense. Take a civil suit. I am advocating that anything about speech should be left to the domain of civil litigation. Any accusation, anything, whatever comments I make about you, if I say Nana for you because of who you are, I hate you. If I say I hate you, did I beat you? Did I use a cutlass to cut you? It is my opinion.
But someone someone can pick on what you have said to harm me.
Why? If I say I hate you, did I ask somebody to come and hate you?
And that is where the fear and panic aspect
I'm asking you a
comes
question. Did I ask somebody to come and hate you? Or did I ask somebody to come and beat you?
Someone someone who likes you, idolizes you, can pick on what you have said.
That is where you have the problem. When somebody goes and misbehave, don't blame somebody's speech. You cannot tell me that an adult going to do something and misbehave. You say blame somebody for that, somebody's behavior because somebody has said something. That is
you do not agree that your words can incite someone to do something.
As I said, I have not incited anybody. I have not said everybody should hate Nana Tufo because I hate Nana Tufo. I am saying Elvis. I see Nana Tufo and I don't like him. I hate Nana Tufo. That is my view and my opinion of you. That's how I feel about you. I'm not asking people that they should hate Nana Tufo. I've not said that. I'm not saying people go and beat up Nana Tufo. I've not said that. I said me, as I see you, looking at your face, I don't like you. I hate you. And then if I say I hate you, say it's hate speech. What's the meaning of that? That is how I feel about you. That is my expression of you. That's my view of you. That's my opinion of you. You are saying that I should be that a law should prevent me. A law should prevent me from having an opinion about you.
Right.
Why should the law prevent me from having an opinion about or a view about you or saying how I feel about you? Why? This is the problem. And if I have said that people take claps and go and beat Nana Tufo, that is incitement. But if I say I don't like you, it's not incitement. It's my view. It's my opinion. It's how I view you. That is how I feel. Whether I say it or not, that's how I feel. So you see, this idea that we are all trying to support and say because you see, people should know that what people say about you does not define you. It doesn't mean who you are. If I sit and say Nana Tufo is a criminal, example, it doesn't mean you are a criminal. That is what I think about you. But does that make you a criminal? What is the evidence and record to show that you're a criminal? So the fact that I have said Nana Tufo is a criminal does not mean that you are a criminal. Do you understand it? And if you know you are not a criminal, why you should be angry if I say you are a criminal? Okay, and why will you want to say that?
There are effects of what you say.
No, what is the effect? Why should you say that?
If you say I am a criminal, although I know I am not, somebody who has heard sin.
That is the point. So if you want to seek redress for what I've said, go through civil litigation. It should never be a subject of criminal prosecution. Why is it that I say you are a criminal, I should be arrested, put in handcuffs and go and put in police, remanded? It makes no sense. There is another option to you that if people say things about you, you have defamation, you have libel. There are options for speech violations. That is legal. I'm not against anybody suing me or you for what proceeded out of your mouth for you to go and judge. I'm not against that. But I'm saying that I am against using criminal process to attack to people like that.
Right.
The judge's judgment. See, this country, I think such a judge, I don't know whether the General Legal Council can suspend him. Because we operate a constitution that says that everybody is equal before the law.
Article 71.
And the man who is sitting on the bench to make sure that that provision in the constitution is implemented turns around to tell us that no, not everyone is equal before the law. If it's a politician who made that, they'll say you are subverting the constitution. Because you are actually overthrowing the constitution by your statement. Is that what people say? Should the judge be arrested for overthrowing the constitution by his judgment? Because those of you are saying that West people should be arrested. Then you are saying that the judge should be arrested and prosecuted because what he has done is like overthrowing the constitution. Because the constitution says that every human being is equal before the law. But the judge sits in judgment and says, no, for me, not everyone is equal before the law. Should that judge still be allowed to continue to sit on cases in this country? Should the General Legal Council not say, no, this judgment is an overthrow of a provision of the Constitution, and for that reason you cannot remain a judge? I don't know whether you can do that, but I think that the judge is 100% flawed. You see, I see it as just finding a reason to remand Abronye. That is, he's just struggling. How do you go and bring an animal farm into your judgment? He even said that he even had a quotation that freedom of speech you have, but freedom of speech that was made by Idi Amin. It was not made by Mugabe, but he had to be Robert Mugabe. So you ask this judge who is sitting there, probably maybe somebody has to call for some of his previous judgments and look at it. Because this is so shocking for a judge to make. Look, I want to reiterate that this country, if we have chosen that we want to go by democracy, which is law,
rule of law,
we must stick by the law. Look, people should not say Abroni has said the worst thing in this country. It's a lie. People have said worse things than what Abroni has said in this country. Nobody has arrested them. People. And President Akufo was accused by someone that he killed his wife. We're in this country. We're not in this country. People have said worse things about people in this country that were not arrested. So nobody should sit here and make argument that Abroni, what he said is the worst thing in this country. Abroni has not said the worst thing in this country.
But you condemn him.
That's
what
the beginning.
Yes.
That for me.
Yes. So let's not do that justification.
No. You see, this is the problem we have. When the truth is there, we must say it. To make the claim that what Abroni said is the worst thing anybody say, it's not the truth. People have said worst things on radio, on television, on internet in this country, and nobody has arrested them. Do you understand it? I have said it here. If I stay here and say I'll do a coup, if you come and arrest me, it's waste of your time. I have not taken a step. You have no evidence that I have planned. I'm doing planning. I'm organizing equipment. I'm talking to people. I just said it, and you said because I said I organize a coup, go arrest Elvis. How does that make sense? You are telling me that I cannot say things. Look, every Ghanaian should know that our lives and our opinions are now being actually censored by the kind of laws. In fact, causing fear and panic is just to censor what journalists do. Publishing fake news is just to prevent journalists from exposing criminals and people of power who are engaging illegality. That's why they maintain those laws.
Is it not to get journalists to do the right thing? Because if it's factual, then you don't have a problem. It wouldn't be fake.
Please, what you say is fake. Who determines what is fake?
I mean, if the facts are contrary to what you have
so let the civil litigation do it. That's why journalists are not immune from civil suit. If I publish something that is fake, let the civil litigation determine whether it's fake.
Very well.
I want to give you an example. I want to give you an example.
Very well.
One doctor tells you that if you eat eggs, your cholesterol will go high. Another doctor says, eggs are very good. You can eat as many as you can. Between these two doctors, who is publishing fake news? And which one should be arrested? These are all qualified doctors. They've been to school. They are qualified. They have their qualification. And once my research shows that eggs are good for you, eat more. Another one comes up and says, eggs are very dangerous for you, don't eat. If you are applying the law of publishing fake news and causing fear and panic, which of the doctors will you arrest? So when we are talking about facts, fact is subject to who is saying it. So you cannot sit and tell me that what I've written is fake news. So if I had gone to write that eggs are dangerous, and somebody go and arrest Elvis because another doctor says eggs are very good, go and arrest them for fake news. So these laws, they don't have any meaningful definition. They don't have any scope. They are just generalization words they put out there just to make sure that they put fear in people not to express their opinions. And that's what I'm saying, that subjecting anything that is a word out of the mouth of an individual should never be a case of criminal prosecution. Make it civil litigation. There are options in civil litigation that a person can take. So it doesn't matter whether the person accuses you of criminality, because I use word and say Nana Tufo is an armed robber. Okay, I say that. What should I be an armed robber? If you are not an armed robber, why should you be worried? And why will you be chasing me because I said Nana Tufo is an armed robber? Okay, so why don't you go to court for the court to prove that? If you say Nana Tufo is an armed robber, bring your evidence to come and prove that Nana Tufo is an armed robber. Why do you have to arrest me?
Let me hear from Wanda. Wanda, you have some concerns.
Sincerely, I think that everybody should take a course in criminal law. I mean, listening to my brother Elvis, I feel very sad.
Why?
You know, there is a reason why laws are passed. And those laws are not just there because somebody has to be punished. Public order, public peace has to be guaranteed by the law. And the law is not only there to protect even individuals, even property, even companies that have assumed a personality status. Those are the reason for which we implement laws. You remember, even go outside of Ghana's jurisdiction. The almighty Donald Trump was prosecuted for what? Incitement. He was only inciting people, allegedly. And then we sit in this studio and pretend that inciting people should not be a criminal offense. Really? Then there will be chaos. Is it Rwanda? the one that
the Houthis and the Tutsis.
Radio Rwanda. It was just an incitement. And you sit down and tell us that you tell us that
Rwanda is a colonial practice. They started killing themselves so many years, even before it blew up. People don't know the history. They just go and cite that after. You see why? You see the propaganda. They go and take something that is not true to come and back something.
Elvis, we're on TV. We're not the only one who read it. Please.
Go to the
Now, the fact that you can shout all you can, but the truth is just one. I'm saying that the Rwanda war, we all knew that it started. There may be undercurrents. That's nothing wrong. In fact, for instance, you or me could have underlying conditions of health. But if I knock you down with a car, we will say that because you were sick all along, so when I knock you down with a car, you died, doesn't mean that I killed you. Is that what it means? Is that the logic he's putting together here? So because there's an undercurrent before, and somebody goes on radio and incites others, and there's a civil unrest, war, we shouldn't say that the person who went to the studio started the incitement. Are you serious?
And that's a lie.
Please,
for anybody to say that killing started with incitement, it's a lie.
Very well.
The law is an incitement, I agree.
Yes,
but don't say that started the killing of the people. That is not factual.
I'm on the floor.
On the criminal offenses, allow Wanda to land.
On the criminal offenses act, there are three major provisions that deals with incitement, false publication. In fact, he didn't say fake news. So I heard him saying fake news. The law never says fake news. The law says false publication. And what is false publication? In section 208 of the Act 29, which is the Criminal Offences Act, section 208 talks about publication of false news. 207 talks about offensive conduct due to the breach of public peace or peace. And these are all within the domain of say, the government, or say within the law enforcement agencies, as it were, the military, vis-a-vis all the other agencies and all that. So we are not saying that don't talk. We are saying that we need responsible citizens. Now, that's number one. Number two, we're not saying don't talk. Democracy comes with a certain level of responsibility. We chose ourselves a certain path to rule this country or any other country, as it were, in the space of democracy. And those, when you choose a path, there are do's and there are don'ts. We can't have a reckless society where somebody gets up one day and publish that, oh, I have seen this, I have seen that, and it's not factual. You need to be held responsible for your words. So in one breath, he condemns the activities of people who publish, who misbehave and do all kinds of things. Then in another breath, he says that, oh, it's all right, nobody should be charged for publication of false news. You know what it means when you say publication of false news? Imagine, let's say, a bank, a very big bank. You get up one day and say that, oh, there's shortfall of cash in the bank. And then all depositors besiege the bank. And then all kinds of things happen. And people burn the bank, people demand for their money, lives are lost. We should let you go. That's the kind of journalism we should be practicing in our country. Are we the only democracy in the sub-region or in the world? Don't we see best practices in the US, in the UK, in France and other places? How is it done? How is it that it's only in Ghana that a journalist will sit on TV, live TV, and tell people that when you publish false news, you should be taken as a civil matter? And that should be the license now for people to do all kinds of things. We repealed the criminal libel law. Why did we repeal it? Because it was abused. But in that same repeal of the criminal libel law, when it comes to the Constitution Act in Article 21, the Constitution was clear. The provision on free speech. But then that free speech, again, is controlled by another law that says that you have to be responsible for the things you say. And in the responsibility is to publish truth. For instance, if I defame you, the only defense against defamation is truth or a court ruling. If I had a court ruling that says that you are a thief and I call you a thief, I am not wrong because there's evidence.
There's evidence.
If I have truth, and the truth is that you are, and I'm able to prove it in court, I'll get away with it. But if I don't, there's a punishment for it. Is it a fine or an imprisonment?
Would that have to be a criminal procedure?
Please.
Who acted on Abronya's comment to take any action? Give me the evidence. Give me the evidence for anybody who has Abronya's comment.
I think you need a course in...
No, I'm asking you. You are talking about when it public news. Where's the picture of public news in Abronya's case?
The law is also preemptive. Okay, that's why in some criminal conduct we call it street liability. For instance, if you cross a red light, should the police come and be begging you that when you cross, this was the consequence of when you cross? It's called street liability offense. Once you cross it, there's no defense. You can't. You can't say that, oh, I was
is
in a
that
hurry.
speech?
I am going to...
No, crossing street like this
I'm
speech.
giving you
he's setting an
basics
example.
under...
How can you say the one you're talking about speech? You are giving some other examples. What has it got to do with speech? Let the discussion be on speech.
You should take a course in criminal
No, let the discussion focus on speech.
Hold on.
So you are going to do examples that have nothing to do with
Hold on,
speech.
let him make his point and then I'll come to you.
I was speaking to the essence of law, that the law is also preemptive. He asked, so if you were listening, you would have known what I'm saying. He asked whether who took
action
based on
Abronye's
Abronye's, and I'm saying that the law is also preemptive. For instance, your action is likely to cause this. Do you understand? And so we will stop it if it has to be stopped. Should we wait for it to happen before the law intervenes? No. And I'm saying that there are some crimes that are committed. We call them street liability crimes. For instance, you cross the red light. There's no difference. You can't say that I'm going to, my grandmother is sick, I'm rushing, I'm taking blood to my grandmother, or that's why I crossed the red light. It's not a defense. You will be punished for it. So such is some of those laws. That the law, this thing you have done is likely to cause public disorder. If the person can prove that what you have done, the action you have taken is likely to cause public, they can go to court. So there is a criminal provision, there is also a civil provision. However, Abronye's case was against the
IGP.
the law, the IGP, not the IGP as a person. It's against the state. Yes, the office he holds. So you don't sit on radio and just because you are a journalist speaking for a certain interest, then it means that everybody else should go to hell, and then the law should be thrown aground. How old are you? How old is Ghana's democracy? And so at this point, your suggestion on this program becomes the basis for which Ghana must make progress. It doesn't work that way. The law remains the law. At least we are told by the former Chief Justice.
Very well, very well. Let me come to Doc before I come to you, Elvis, so we can cool the heat in the room. Yes, Doc, your final submissions on this issue.
You know, I get very surprised. You know, because I have stated that we need a value-driven country. This country is almost becoming valueless. It's almost becoming a country without ethics. I mean, so sometimes I feel and find myself very strange in certain environments and certain conversations. I hope that this will send some cautioning to political party members, national officers. I mean, your freedom ends where someone else's freedom begins. So you must marry the two, and we want to have a lot of serenity in this country. But I insist that President John Dramani Mahama must immediately appoint a Minister of Defense, send the person to Parliament for vetting, because the chaos and the insecurity in this country is overwhelming. That is a huge concern for me.
Very well. Elvis.
I've known IGP Yohoro at least for the past 15 years. I know what he's capable of. Abroad sitting on TV say IGP Yohoro is incompetent. Does it make IGP Yohoro incompetent? The fact that Groner said the man is incompetent, does it mean that he's incompetent?
No.
So why arrest him?
But what he's saying, does it
No, I'm saying, I'll give you an example.
It's an example.
What example?
Please.
The man has been arrested based on something specific. Mention the specific.
I mean, you read, what did you read? The charges you read, what did you read?
No, he should repeat it.
No,
to make it
the thing you read, I don't know the charges. You are the one who read the charges. The charges you read.
So if you don't know what
is wrong with the charges?
Elvis, if you don't have the fact, what are you speaking to?
What are you talking about? What you said? Please.
You are misleading us.
Let me tell you. The fact that somebody says you are incompetent or you are a criminal, it does not define you that you are a criminal. Okay?
Right.
The fact that you consider out of somebody's mouth that you are a criminal or you are incompetent with that doesn't define you that that's who you are.
Indeed.
Oh, you understand it? So the fact that somebody will be arrested because he, in his opinion, thinks that you are this or you are that is dangerous for everybody. It means that every opinion you want to our spouse as an individual, you now have to be thinking about the criminal prosecution you face, depending on whose interpretation, depending on who decides to interpret what you have said the way you think it is. Criminal libel law was never repealed. It was repealed and replaced by these two criminal libel laws, publishing false news and causing fear and panic. These laws are just replacement of the criminal libel law. You understand it? Because they are all criminal prosecutions. So after repealing the criminal libel law, the politicians
We
realized,
went through a process to repeal the
and the
criminal
politicians
libel law.
realized that now people can expose them.
Yes.
Okay, people can expose them and they can't do anything. Then they smuggled publishing fake news. Then they smuggled causing fear and panic to still achieve the same aim that the criminal libel has been built to achieve. So anybody tell the criminal libel, just say that it was repealed and replaced by two more dangerous laws than even the criminal libel law. In fact, these two laws, if you look at how ambiguous they are, without any meaningful definition, they are more dangerous than even the criminal libel law. I'm telling you,
think so?
if you are a student of free speech and you study this law, what causes fear and panic? In Abronye's case, who has gone to cause any violence? So what's the fear and panic in what he has said? What is it? In Abronye's case, if he has an opinion about you, I hold an
If the
opinion
law is
about you.
preemptive,
Preemptive about what? Preemptive
about the dangers his speech
what
can
is
create.
the danger in it? You are backing the view that people should not have an opinion that you don't like about you.
No, I'm not backing anybody. I'm just asking
I'm
the
giving
question
you
so that we can
I'm
arrive.
telling you that these two laws,
Yeah.
what they intentionally are doing, they say these laws and they are smoke screens. Okay.
You think so?
Yeah, they are smoke screens. They paint it to look like it is something, but it is just to say that you have no right to express an opinion I don't like. If you do it, I'll use any of this law to make sure that I punish you.
And you think the politicians put it in there to guard themselves against
You have no
exposure?
idea. I'm telling you, if you're a student of free speech, if you're a student of free speech, go and take the criminal libel that has been repealed.
Yeah.
Read the provisions. Go and take causing fear and panic. Go and taking. You
False
realize that even the criminal libel law is better
That
because
is
that one even have clearer provisions. This one's some humongous ambiguous terms have just been created and made law without any meaningful definitions. So anybody can put any meaning onto what you said and claim that it constitutes publishing false news or it constitutes causing fear and panic. And the moment the person who has authority and based on the ruling of the judge, which has even worsened the case, that you can insult Elvis because it's nobody, but if you insult IGP or insult the president, that one you have to come and answer in court because they are in bigger positions. So it means that they are more important than you. That's what the judge has said. That is what these two laws are actually put there to achieve, that there are some people you have no right to express certain opinions about them. The moment you do, you should be treated as a common criminal for expressing your opinions and views, assessments about them. They turn you into a common criminal simply because in their assessment, what you have said about them, they don't like it. And that is where the danger is. I said the criminal libel law, it was clear provisions. But this one, let me land.
Please land.
So as I've said, I'm not somebody who advocates for those things. But I also not be somebody who ever support arrest of anything that proceeded out of the mouth of anybody and treated as a common criminal. There is two aspects of law in this country. There's a criminal aspect of the law. There's a civil. If anything proceeded out of somebody's mouth that requires anything to be done, let it be criminal and civil. Unless there's an action taken. That's what I'm saying, that anybody should prove to me that somebody has taken action. Based on what Abronya has said.
Free speech. So
Based on what Abronya has said. You have not proved that anybody has gone to take any action because what somebody has said. And as I said, what people say about you or the opinion they say about you, they can define you.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you. Let me take a few messages. In a few seconds.
Defamation is different from publication of false news. Please, let's get this straight.
No, the publication is the publication.
Hold on.
No.
So you're looking at the end
I am
result.
telling you that
There are two
that is why these laws are dangerous.
You listen to
You see the way they're interpreting it.
There are two different
Politicians and people powerful. That's what they will make you believe. Why are you arresting me? Defamation. Why are you arresting
Hold on.
Why are you arresting the person for criminal offense?
Gentlemen, hold on.
Because what the person has said in your
Publication of all news is a
has had a
criminal
certain
offense.
impact.
Please stop this.
Hold on.
Stop this. People are
This is
That falls under the Criminal Act.
always. You stop this.
In a civil matter.
Issue. It's not a problem. But for publication of false news, it's a criminal offense. Why is it a criminal offense? For instance, we were talking about the Rwanda case.
No, go back to IGP and say why Abronya said about it. Tell me how it becomes a criminal offense. Don't go to Rwanda. take Abronye's things he has said and tell me how he puts the criminal offense.
To do us a lot of good if you come.
You are giving wrong examples.
Please
give what Abronye has said and establish how it causes a criminal offense.
No, we are not even on the floor, so I don't know why you are seeming to be so excited about this. It's like you publish sports news, but they'll come after you.
Let them come. I'm not scared about anybody.
The law.
I'm not scared about any system. They should come.
Even the practice of journalism in this country is because of the law. That's why we're able to publish it.
They should come.
We're not existing in a vacuum where everybody can do what they like. So please, you make progress, please.
Right. Let me take a few messages. Let me take a few messages at this point. This one says, Nanatufo, what happened to Bongo Ideas when he spoke about the former first lady? It's a question you're asking.
How did you say anything that time?
What makes the difference?
You don't know my stance on free speech.
Hold on.
I'm not supporting anybody that will be arrested for.
Let me finish with these batch of messages. What makes the difference if someone can sit on a TV and insult someone who is facing prosecution for insults? Sir Joe Baba from Bogatanga sent that one in. Good morning, Nana. If we are going to start arresting people and treating them like criminals, then I think Basim Tale and his boss Sami would have been behind bars before the NPP left office. Let's stop making it look like what is happening is good. How many NDC communicators insulted Akufo-Addo during his tenure? Well, that's your question. This one says, I love Mr. Elvis Darko so much, but his submission this morning appears weird. The fact that someone did a similar thing under the watch of Nana-Addo without bringing the person to order does not guarantee another person to repeat such a dubious act without bringing the person to order. I don't think that's what you're saying. But you're saying that two wrongs don't make a right. What legacy are we building for the next generation if we continue this way? Abronye aired in his speeches, but have people not said much more damaging things in this country? They were never handled with such heavy hand. And so such heavy hand is what proves that these acts were state-sponsored. Pascal Dunyo sent that one in. Okay. I'm not sure there is anyone who is willing to condone offensive conduct. However, the law seems to be applied unequally, especially when Kelvin Taylor was recently left off the hook for a similar offense. Okay. The way the NDC government and even the court have handled the case of our MPP Bono regional chairman is pure selective justice. When their communicators insulted and poured all kinds of words on the former president and his ministers, nothing happened to them. But today, they want to intimidate others with the law. We say no to hypocrisy. Justice must be fair and equal for all, not a weapon for politics. Abu Safianu from Damongo sent that in. Good morning, panelists. Listening to Elvis Darko, I'm not sure. Okay. He must know that words carry weights. Rwanda turned to civil war country because of words spoken by one person. Okay. Keep your messages coming in. Okay, there's one here. Good morning, Anna, the chief host, and your indefatigable panelist. Hey, this one you're giving us word too. Okay, you're commending us for the choice of topics for this morning's discussion. Please kindly permit me to address one thing that breaks my heart when I listen to Elvis Darko on his submissions. You're asking where exactly he belongs to. He's a journalist. Yes. Okay. And then again, you're asking Wonder when his appointment is coming. Oh. Okay.
Nana, it will come.
Right. Obviously,
the Rwanda issue, there's so much miscommunication, misinformation. I also had similar views until I visited Rwanda, and I went to their memorial. They have a memorial, and they tell you the history, about how it all started. The pronouncements were actually in the heat of the system. They didn't start it. They started killing. They killed so many people before the thing escalated. So this idea that it is that speech that resulted to the war, it is a fallacy. It played a role at the heat of the moment. But if you go to the Genocide Museum and they take you through their history and they explain to you, that was the first time I got to know that this idea of Tutsi and Hutu was a false narrative by Western media. Do you know that there's no two tribes in Rwanda? Do you know that they are not two tribes?
Really?
You don't know.
I don't know this.
I read the same thing in history books. Until I went there, they told me that they don't have two tribes. They are one people. They don't have two tribes. What has become what we call tribe is a social classification.
Okay.
That in their culture, at that time, if you are poor, you are a Hutu. The Tutsis are the rich people. So they determine who is rich by if you have more than 10 cows. Okay. So if you're able to have more than 10 cows, then you graduate from being a Hutu
To a Tutsi.
But they are one tribe. They are not two tribes. But this is what history books have taught us until I went to the Genocide Museum and they explained this thing to me that it is not. But when the white people came and they wanted to bring division, and then they now have made it, instead of using wealth to determine, they rather started using height, people's nose, people's ears, how tall you are, to determine who rather become a Tutsi. And then they started giving ID cards to separate them. And they created the impression that Rwanda is two different ethnic groups. It is not true. So you see, when you sit here and talk about Rwanda and citing the comments on radio, you would think that you are telling them, but that's what the Western country has written for us. If you go there and they take you to the process, they'll take you step by step and explain how the whole thing started till it blew up before we got to know. The statement never was the reason why the war started. The war started because of certain actions of colonial masters to create divisions among them, and they started killing each other long ago. Before the thing escalated to become what it is. So if you don't know, and you have read what the Westerners have written for you, you think you know. I had the same idea that I knew their history because I read it in the books. But when I went there and they took me, I realized that it's a Western narrative to cover up what they have done to cause the war. They don't want the world to blame that they caused the war. So they're written narratives that will show that the war was caused by something else. Everybody who had a chance to go to Rwanda, find time to go to the Genocide Museum and let them take you to education. You understand that all the narratives we read in books are lies.
Thank you. Thank you for that history. We would have to take a break here. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversations. This is Breakfast Daily. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Power has been generated because it travels a distance.
Exactly.
Now, there's also a question about illegal connections and all that. And then there's also questions about officials of those institutions benefiting from, call it ill-gotten wealth by, bypassing the system and trying to find ways and means to make money and all that. So indeed, we have all these challenges. However, I think that the PRC sometimes misses it when it comes to calculation of the tariffs. In 2013, 2014, 2015, we saw a very heated resistance from Ghanaians over power, increments in terms of tariffs and all that. I remember also under COVID, the MPP government announced that they were reducing power or something of the sort. At the time, it cost us, the nation, some revenue inflow and all that. So we've had this huge gap between what we generate, and you know that in the power mix, it's not only government of Ghana that produces the power. There are also independent power producers like Asono Asogli and all the others who are in the space. And so government, first of all, collects the power as they produce it. There are three levels. We have the generation, which is those who are doing the power, and then we have the transmission. Which is Gridco, so VRA and Co, TAPCO, and all that, Car Power, and all the others are within the generation. Environment. So they produce the power. Then it's given to Gridco, and Gridco is a transmission system. And then Gridco hands over to ECG for distribution. So the three levels, generation, transmission and distribution. The loss is between the transmission and the distribution. Gridco is always complaining, we've given you so much, you're bringing you so little. Government of Ghana went ahead to do what we call the cash waterfall mechanism, where all revenues generated go into one basket. And then the independent power producers are paid according to how much they have produced within the period. Even that ran into crisis. The Millennium Compact, the Challenge Compact, also allows us to privatize the revenue collection, under which the MPP tried to do the PDS, which became a standard later. Even though today we still need a private partnership in that environment to collect revenue, because some of the leakages has to do with the systems we're using to collect revenue, and also the kind of metering systems we have. So today, all the meters in this country that are for water is analog meters. And I think that is one of the ways we need to quickly make progress. We need meters that are reading electronically, meters that I can actually pay electronically. But so today, water bills are paid by going over the counter, or even if you use your Momo or whatever of the sort. It doesn't disconnect or or OPU. The disconnection is done physically
manually,
by the men in waterway.
So they charge you reconnection fee.
Yeah, so those are the difficulties we've had. I have always complained that, look, since I was born, I've always seen street light levy on my electricity bill.
Yeah.
And so today I don't have street light in front of my house.
Your Greater Accra Regional Minister promised us, but it's not been done.
Yeah. So I'm telling you the challenges we've had. So indeed, you know, our power generation sector, the utility sector itself, if I was a government, one of the things I would do is to look at it again and again. I remember some years ago under President Kufuor, if not 2006, thereabout, we brought the AVRL. You remember this area? Aquavitans came to Ghana on our water issues and all that. I'm told they did a good job, but they lost the deal eventually, and then they had to leave this country and all that. We need that approach. Look, it is not the volume we are paying that is a problem. It's the losses that is a problem. So even if I'm paying 100 Ghana cedis a day for my power, and it is reliable, it is there, and I don't make losses, and the state doesn't lose, we're fine. However, it is when you struggle to pay these amounts, and they end up in private pockets, they end up not being used for the purpose, they end up being a leakage, they end up enriching somebody out there, then you have a concern. So I think that the debate again should not only be about how much we're paying, because how much we're paying is not determined by you and I, it's determined by the factors that brings the service provision. If we went to the market to buy Coca-Cola, and the Coca-Cola seller tells me that, oh, today I'm no longer selling 10 Ghana cedis, it's now 20 Ghana cedis, you walk away or you buy it, because the Coca-Cola producer knows the input that is required to produce that service. Unfortunately, in our country, utilities has become like a freebie to us. We don't see it as a valuable that we pay so much for. People are able to go into showrooms and buy brand new cars because it gives them a certain value. But we are not willing to pay for the power and electricity and water that is the basic necessity of life. I think that some conscientization has to be done. The NCC has to fall in place and do some of these things and begin to talk to people and begin to understand. Finally, I want to say that government of Ghana must begin to do what we call piloting of some of these things in our regions. For instance, if you want to control power losses in this country, don't go national. Take, for instance, Volta region. Realign the power. Realign the what's the name? The
distribution channels.
The distribution channels. Realign even where your water access is. And I've also advocated that don't sell any land if it's not a service plot. And that's why we have a problem. You see, all the illegal connections are within areas where there are no proper mappings. But if you go to the estate environment, you don't find these kind of things. Because everybody is entitled to one line coming to your house. So you can tell if you went to dig it or you didn't dig it. But where you have, slums, you have people who are congested in an area, you don't even know where the pipeline passes and all that. That's where we have all these illegal connections coming in. So I sincerely believe that government must pilot this in some of these areas and begin to hold on the chiefs. Nobody sells a land until it becomes a service plot. Government can acquire this land, service the plots, like the roads, the ECG, and then water. Then you can sell it if you're at a higher price. Give what the chief or whoever the landowner is to the landowner, and we make progress. That will be easier for government. That will even allow you to collect property rates and all that from the people. Sanitation would have been improved. You would have even created jobs. You would have created decent living environment for the people. And so we have a challenge, and it has to be fixed holistically. It's not just the tariff.
Thank you. Let me hear from you. I mean, although the increases are still a proposal, they've not been approved yet. But we know of the inefficiencies, the losses. Should consumers continue to be burdened with an increase in tariffs over the period for some of these inefficiencies? If we address these, can it help stabilize the tariffs?
Oh, sure. But the consumers are the problem. You don't know.
How are the consumers the problem?
Consumers are the problem. Consumers are actually part of the problem. Yeah, they're part of the problem.
So explain to us, why are the consumers part of the problem?
You see, they say you cannot eat your bread and have it too. Is that how they say?
Yeah.
Cake.
So no, he doesn't like cake. That's why he uses bread.
Until we privatize ECG, we can never get what we deserve from ECG. But the Ghanaian generally has this attachment to state-owned enterprises. Once you talk about privatization, hey, they want to sell to their family and friends. They want to do this. So we want it to be in the government hands. Government to appoint their cronies to go and sit there They use the place as a procurement business, make their money, and then we all suffer. If we want ECG to work in this country, it will not work under state-owned. It will not work. Because the interests that are in ECG, if it's state-owned, are the reason ECG is where it is. And that is why we can't get it. The cost of power is determined by two major factors. The cost of the power plant and the cost of the fuel that you are using to run it. Check the cost of our power plant in the sub-region. Ghana and Ivory Coast will build the same power plant, the same capacity thermal. Ivory Coast builds it far cheaper than the price that Ghana builds it. So how do you expect cheaper power? Because the politicians have used their interest to do their contract, break whoever they want to, they give some high prices to the power plant. So if the price of the power plant is so high, and it is a major factor in determining the utility tariff, what will happen? Procurement, ECG is an avenue for procurement for politicians. And they do all kinds of procurements, make all kinds of money. Foolish things happen there. You read Auditor General report, sometimes you ask yourself, who is sitting down for this to be happening? Nobody also gets prosecuted in this country. Some years back, they imported meters, and the meters are defective. They store it in a warehouse, useless, the money is gone, they go and import another one. We have seen things in ECG where you read the things, but who is doing it? All that is happening not because of the technocrats that are sitting there. Politicians have hijacked all the procurement in ECG because they need to make money. Their government is in power. They finance the government. They have to do procurement and make their money. So they'll turn the place to the procurement center. And so long as the cost of procurement of the things they are using is high, it will be factored into the utility tariffs we pay. So number one, if we say ECG should remain in the hands of government, we can never get that efficiency we are looking for. Right. And for as long as we can't get the efficiency, they'll pile it on us all the time. Okay, that's number one. Number two, see, ECG as an institution is 100% owned by the state.
True.
So if you are talking about technical losses simply means that you are ineffective equipment in the system. So once the power is being transmitted along the way, you lose a lot, and the illegal connections comes in a lot.
Yeah.
So government is supposed to provide money because you are the 100% shareholder of the company. You must provide money to retool the company. Go and check whether government has invested in money in the past 15 or 20 years as government-owned money. We don't. The best opportunity I've had was the Millennium the MCC to go through, and then back and forth. We say cancel it, and we canceled it. So at the end of the day, we are back to square one because the main problem we failed to resolve it by not allowing that contract to go through so that private people take over.
Yeah.
Everybody in this country will attest the fact when PDS came in, everybody realized that there's some improvement in how ECG works. Okay, but then once they are gone, we are back to the same place. So if you have an asset and the equipment are old, you have to reinvest to make sure that you bring new equipment that will be efficient and tackle some of the losses. And your government is not investing. How do you expect the equipment to be efficient for them to solve technical losses? So we talk about technical losses as if it is something that the workers are causing. No, there is some stealing by some of the workers, which is not in doubt. But that is not the main problem. If you want to talk about 30% losses, both commercial and technical, do you know how much we are talking about? We are talking about $300 to $400 million a year that ECG is losing. It means that they buy that power from the power generators, but they lose it along the way, so they don't get the money back.
Exactly.
Do you understand it? Thirdly, we sign all power contracts with the IPPs in dollars. So when they sell the power to us in cedis, after collection, they have to go and change it to dollars to pay the money in dollars.
Yeah.
So as long as you have an unstable currency, that is flip-flopping.
Yeah.
What it means is that they buy the power at the time that the city is 10 cities. And that the city has moved to 12 cities.
When they are coming to pay back.
As they are coming to pay. It means that they have lost 2 cities. So it means the money they are collecting to go and pay back, they are even making huge losses. in the forest losses differential.
Yeah.
Then because our society is not well planned, we have places where the whole place is like a slum. And people do illegal connection, and tracing it becomes very difficult. The last time Jinapo went to Tamale, they say power in Tamale, 70% is stolen. Power sold in Tamale. 70% of the power. That's what Jinapo is quoted. 70% of power sold in Tamale is stolen. Stolen power. Then we have these political meters. When it is time for elections, politicians want to extend electricity to their
rural electrification.
Then they'll go and collect the meters.
Yeah.
Then they'll go and fix for their people. The meter they collect to go and fix, it didn't go through ECG. So they are not captured on ECG systems.
Yeah.
So you go to the community, everybody is using meter, but they are not paying electricity bills because the meter is not on ECG. So it doesn't even know that there are some people in those communities who are even consuming power. So they are using it for free because politicians want to win election and they want to get power. So because of that, they deliberately put rural electrification under Ministry of Energy. And it should be under the ministry because that's what the politicians that can make sure it happens. If you go and put that ECG, they may frustrate you.
Yeah.
So put it under ministry so that they'll go and collect the power. Hey, give me 50,000 meters, I have to go to. Then they'll go and install this. And you know what some people have done? They go and collect the meter from the village and they come and install it in Accra. People are using shape meters in Accra. They are in Accra, they're using shape meters. The last time they did auditing, just Accra East, they said they found about 20,000 illegal meters. They are not on ECG system.
But power is running through it.
When ECG works, they say, our meter is here, so this person is on the meter is paying. He's not paying anything. Because that meter is not captured on ECG. Politicians were the one who gave out the meter. So you see, the ECG sustainability, the only solution
is to go private.
Give it to private hand. Let them have their freedom to run. It's their money. They will reinvest in the asset, make it effective, and they'll run it and make sure that they get their money back. But until we get there, all these things I've said here, we are not ready to change one. And there's no way one is going to change. Because the interest of big people, rich people, controllers of this country, their interest is ECG is high. That's what they make
Thank
money.
you, Elvis. Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Doc. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. We'll find time to engage more on some of these issues. This has been the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. Stay with us. The show continues after this.